Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I was going to start off this video as a what's in my refrigerator type deal, but I know you've heard this song and dance before. I really haven't been to the grocery store. I haven't been, tell them, Olivia, I haven't been to the grocery store. She's just standing there smiling at me. The facts is, we're like so hungry we can't even, I can't talk. All she can do is giggle. But anyway, it was going to be like a what's in my refrigerator type deal. I don't really have anything in there. I found a bag of onions. And I've got some garlic. And I've got some block of Asiago cheese that I used for a recipe that I haven't posted on here yet. So you're really going to like that. It's got chicken and basically spinach and everything we're using today. No, I'm just kidding. But we're not going to be using any chicken, but we're going to be using some Orzo pasta, some heavy whipping cream, some garlic, some spinach, some olive oil, and some chicken stock. And it's going to be so good. I hope it's so good because we're so hungry. We're so hungry. But I do plan on going to the grocery store this weekend. I swear. Let's go ahead and throw this together and see what we come up with. In my little pot here, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Let me try to get you closer here. I've got some Orzo pasta there. Orzo. I'm saying it correctly. You know, I like to mispronounce things. But I've got some Orzo going on over here in a bowl. This is about 2 cups of it. I really don't think I'm going to use all this because, that stuff swells up so big, so big. But in my pot here, I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. And I've got that on low. I'm just gonna let that come up to temperature. And while we're waiting on that, because I forgot to chop my onions, we're gonna do this really, really quickly. Into the pan they go. And all over the stove. And that's about a half a cup of onion. And then I'm just going to stir these and cook these until they start, becoming nice and translucent in color. And, some of the rawness is cooked out of them. Okay, that's looking fantastic already. We're going to go ahead and throw in our garlic. That's one thing I always have on hand is garlic, onion, olive oil, some form of pasta, obviously. Always have canned tomatoes, stuff like that. So where I can throw things together, quickly. Just gonna stir that around. Let me turn it down just a little bit, just so it don't get too hateful too quickly. I'm gonna toss in my Orzo pasta. Like I said, I don't think that I'm going to use all this. Let's just go with about 1.5 cups. What do you think about that? Because this stuff really swells up. And we're just going to kind of toast that just a little bit. It smells so good already. Now I think that's going to be plenty. It's just me and Olivia eating today anyway. I'm going to put some fresh ground pepper in there. A lot, because I like pepper. Alright, that is perfect. And it's getting nice and toasty, and the onions and the garlic are infusing right into that. I'm going to go ahead and add in about 4 cups of chicken stock. I only have 1 can of chicken stock. Man, that sounds hateful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add 2 cups of water and a couple bouillon cubes as well. Let's y'all know, you already know how I prefer to use the bouillon cubes instead anyway. So we're gonna put both of those in there. So it'd be about 4 cups of chicken stock total. Then we're gonna add a couple chicken cubes, bouillon cubes. I might end up adding just a little bit more water to that. We'll see. I'm also going to add just a little bit of minced onions to this because, you know, they add so much flavor. Now I'm going to turn this up a little bit and let it come to a boil. Okay, that is boiling, so I'm going to turn it down and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. I'm also going to add a nice tablespoon of butter in there so it can just like melt all through it and make it nice and delicious. I only ended up cooking this for about 6 minutes because I really don't want to cook it any longer than that because the liquid is already absorbing into that orzo. And I feel that if I cook it any longer that it might overcook, and I certainly don't want to do that. So what you're going to do now is add some heavy whipping cream. Probably, I don't know, about a half a cup. Let's just see what... Let's just add some in there and see what happens. That's more than half a cup, wasn't it? That's probably closer to a cup. And what that's going to do, it's going to make it so super creamy. We're going to toss in some crushed red pepper flakes if you want the heat. If you don't want the heat, you don't have to toss them in there. Now we're going to put our spinach in. And that was probably about 2 cups of chopped spinach. That's what I had left. I had that left over. So I definitely wanted to use that. And this is the Asiago cheese that you buy. You can get this right in the same area that you get your Parmesan blocks. And this is a very soft cheese. It's a lot softer than the Parmesan and it melts so well and it has such a wonderful flavor. So I'm just going to grate, you know, a good 3/4 to a cup into the orzo. Alright, I think that's plenty. I'm going to go ahead and stir that in, mix that in, combine it. Oh, this is going to be so good. It's going to be nice and creamy and delicious. Bless you. Did you hear that sneeze in the background? That is so pretty. I'm going to give it a quick taste just to see if it has enough cheese for me. Man, that is so tasty. I'm going to put just a little bit more in there. I'm going to toss in just a little bit of parsley. Make it look nice and pretty. Now this is what I'm going to do because I want more of that liquid to absorb into that orzo. I'm going to place a lid on it. The heat is off and I'm just going to let it sit for about, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes until the orzo absorbs the remaining liquid. This is going to be so good. I want you to look down here at those. It looks amazing. Look at that. Look how pretty that looks. Doesn't that look wonderful? I'm going to top it off with just a little bit more of the Asiago cheese. Look at that. Just before serving. Now we're going to dig in. I am ready to dig in. I had to pause for a minute so Olivia could get her some. We're starving up in here. Starving, I tell you. It's hot. Man, that is good. Oh, it's so good. It's creamy. so creamy. And that heavy whipping cream just, oh, it made it so, oh, just added the touch to it, trust me. Very good. See what you can do. See what you can create when you're hungry. Wouldn't change a thing about that. Not a thing. And you know, some perfect throw-ins is you could add some nice cooked chicken, like rotisserie chicken would be amazing. Or maybe some spicy Italian sausage. Yes. That'd be perfect. I gotta get off here. I gotta go eat. I hope you try this recipe soon. You know I love you guys so very much. You know I do. I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.